Greetings, Bat Family. Welcome back to Holy BatCast, brought to you by Real Fans for Real Movies. You can find us all over social media on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search for Holy BatCast. And if you're a fan of the show and you would like to support us, you can do that on Patreon. No pressure, but a big thank you to our patrons. You guys are awesome. That is patreon.com/Holy BatCast. And if I'm being real with y'all, right now, like all the podcast platforms are like, hey, get ads, put ads in your show. You'll make a little money. And I haven't done it. I don't want to do it because frankly, it's a little annoying. So for you patrons, you guys are helping me not have to do that. So a big thank you to our patrons. So if you listen and you're like, oh, I don't have to hear about BetterHelp. There you go. That's why. So credit to all them. Anyway, we're part of the Real Fans Podcast Network. You can check out all those at rf4rm.com. And as always, I'm your bat host, Andy DeGenova. You can find me on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and Letterboxd. It's my name, Andy DeGenova. Now, we have another big DCU project that has landed in our laps, and it's time to talk about it. The return of Green Lantern in live action. I mean, yes, he was in live action in Superman, but now we got 2 more Green Lanterns in a show. We're going to talk about the first episode of Lanterns, and y'all don't disappoint. You sent some emails, and I love it, and we're going to read some of those in the Wayne Manor mailbox. Joining me for all that fun and more, he's back. It's Brendan Lowe. Hey, Brendan.
How you doing, buddy?
Good. You're the John Stewart to my Hal Jordan.
That sounds about right.
Yep, I'm old and grizzled and bitter, and you're just dutiful, and you don't ruffle feathers, you know. You're so cool and calm and collected, which is what we love about you.
Yep.
And you look so much like him.
I'm a bit more pale.
A bit more pale, and Aaron Pierre is jacked, and you got a little work to do, buddy.
Yeah. That's about. And I've lost weight too in the last 2 weeks. So,
well, I'm glad. I know that you are still recovering, and so I'm glad that at least your vocal cords are working, so you can join us and talk about nerdy DC stuff.
Yeah, it's good. And I dipped my toe back into work this week. I was meant to do 3 days. I ended up doing 1 because I was just exhausted. But, sitting here and chatting to you isn't as mentally as exhausting as a full day of, dealing with people's crap. So,
well, you just have to deal with my crap. But
yeah.
My crap is you're used to dealing with.
That's true.
You know how it works.
Yeah. Actually, this is completely off topic, but I just thought of something funny that I wanted to share with you. So, you obviously would have seen the last couple of days on social media being flooded with the excitement of the set pics of the Batman Part 2. With the same car and a bit of a Christmas tree in the background, and apparently this is the greatest news ever. I commented on something on Instagram. Someone was going nuts about the car, and I was just like, just as dull as the first time around. And a few people were making snide comments, so I just ignored them. And then someone made like a genuine point of like, they genuinely like the aesthetic of this world, and they really like the car, but even they found the first movie really boring. And I sort of just said a bit like, I don't like the aesthetic. I've found it a bit boring. We already had it with Nolan, blah, blah, blah. I don't know this person from a bar of soap. And then they commented back and said, oh, I'm aware. I listen to you and Andy talk about it all the time, and it's quite amusing.
Oh,
I was like, oh, okay.
Wow. All right. Nice.
So whoever that person was, I got a bit of a chuckle at him. I sent like a little emoji thing of like two guys hugging. But yeah, that sort of tickled me a little bit. And I was like, oh, I really need to be careful what I say and where
there are actual humans who listen to this. Yeah.
You forget that.
It is easy to forget. That's so funny. Yeah, I mean, I did think that instead of Lanterns, I thought maybe we should delay Lanterns another week so we could spend 2 hours talking about the same car. Just doing one donut.
There's metal damage on it though. Remember, it's a bit damaged this time around, or one of them is.
Yeah, they have a damaged one on a truck. So I thought that like we could break that down for 2 hours if you want.
People based on what I've seen online, people would like that.
Well, it's the same car. That's all I got to report.
Yeah.
If you liked the car the first time, you're gonna like it the second time because it's the same. 6 years, it's not enough time to think about redesigning a car.
Apparently, story-wise, it's only a couple of weeks. So I don't know. They're going to have to like digitally de-age the cast, or
yeah. Poor Robert Pattinson. He's looking like Hal Jordan these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I digress.
You do digress, but I mean, it is technically Batman news. I mean, we know there's snow, and so a Christmas tree also makes sense in the snow. It was funny though, because I was tickled by the clickbaity stuff because there was a Christmas tree in the set where it's like major inspiration from Batman Returns coming to the Batman Part 2 because there was a Christmas tree.
But like I said to you, it's like, and again, I genuinely am not throwing shade here. This is just like legitimately what the movie was like. I mean, people, when we heard the first one, was there set photos or something of it set at Halloween? Like we saw jack-o'-lanterns and everything. And it's like at the start of the movie, I mean, it's like barely.
You have to like pause and look. It's not, it's very subtle.
It's not exactly a major theme in the movie. And I'm not expecting Christmas to be a major theme in this one either. So. Yeah.
Well, we shall see. But yeah, I mean, that's all that's happening. I guess the bigger news is that production is ramping up. And so off we go.
Hey, look, they could surprise us all and it could be a live action adaptation of Silent Night, in the Pattinson world. So who knows?
You're right. They could. I'm not putting any money on that, but I think you're right.
I'll tell you what, I'd be a hell of a lot more interested if it was.
Well, I mean, agreed. But did you see? And we had a laugh about it in our group chat about how they were like, Sebastian Stan finally confirms he's playing Harvey Dent.
Yep.
And then like 6 hours later, it's like fans doubt whether Sebastian Stan actually confirmed he's playing Harvey Dent. And then 6 hours later, it was like Sebastian Stan did not confirm he is playing Harvey Dent. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is a joke. Like, first of all, tell us. And if you're not going to tell us, that's fine. Whatever. I can wait. I'm a patient man. But like, just the need to try and wring news where there is none is just wild these days.
I saw one, again, because of the algorithm. You see all this stuff now from pages you don't follow, which annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah.
But it's just like set video confirms Scarlett Johansson's character in the Batman Part 2. I'm like, I am not falling for that. Like, I am not clicking on it. I am just scrolling past. No, thank you.
I didn't even see that, so
I don't remember what outlet it was, but it's just
I'm sure it's BS because I did not see anyone else pick it up. So I'm sure that it's just somewhat. I mean, it's a Christmas tree. Trees are plants. Plants means poison ivy.
And she may have red hair in it. Who knows?
And I'm saying that as a joke, but also kind of not really, because that is the kind of crap that passes for reporting these days.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, sorry, that was our old man yells at cloud divergence of just the current state of internet geek journalism. It's just madness.
We'll do that this week instead of dad chat.
Yeah. We'll save dad chat for another time. But you know who's going to enjoy that chat? Joe Fornerato, because he's the grumpiest about it.
He really is.
He is. And you know what? I don't even blame him.
Isn't he the youngest in our group chat?
I think so.
You'd swear he's older than Jamie sometimes.
You'd think he'd like vinyl then.
You would.
Yeah, because he was there for the first. Oh no, he's young. Never mind, but he acts old. Anyway, whatever. Let's get on with it. There's your Batman update, which is not much of an update other than production is ramping up. They were doing some tests with the car. There's a Christmas tree. You're brought up to date. Don't click on any of those stories. You don't need it. You got better things to do with your time. Read a comic book, play a video game, play with your kids, watch Lanterns again. Any of those things are better than, feeding the weird content machine that's out there.
Mm. Yep.
So let's talk about Lanterns, shall we?
Let's.
Here we go. It is time. The new DCU project is at home, convenient to watch on HBO Max. Let's talk about Lanterns. We've got the pilot episode of Lanterns that came out Sunday night. For you, did it hit around the same time? Like, did it hit for you on Monday?
Monday during the day some point. But for us, it's going to be a Monday night watch for us here. So
yeah. The night it's like Sunday night at 9 p.m. but Eastern, so I think it hit at 6 p.m. Pacific, which is where I live.
Okay.
But this is a show run by Tom King, Damon Lindelof, and Chris Mundy, which is a heck of a pedigree, if I'm being honest. Whether or not you like all of Tom King's stuff, he's still a really big name in storytelling for comics. So, I mean, that's a heck of a row of showrunners there. Mm-hmm. And we have Aaron Pierre as Jon Stewart, and we've got Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan. So I guess we'll do spoiler free, but I don't know if we even need to, because episode 1 did great. That's the first thing. Let's start with that. Episode 1, it's been not even a week since it was premiered, and they said it was the biggest DC television premiere ever with 9.3 million viewers, and it was the 5th biggest HBO series premiere ever.
Oh, wow. So, I didn't know that one.
You know what? For all of the hand-wringing and concern about Lanterns and whatever, didn't seem to matter. People watched. People were ready for it. And I don't know. I mean, I have seen reactions very positive critically. It's like 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is, I think, the highest. It's the highest new DCU Rotten Tomato score. Mm-hmm. And so the critics love it. And then even just randos that I'm friends with. That sounds terrible. Friends that I am friends with, whether or not they're big DC fans or not, like, they all seem to watch it and like it. And there is a lot of conversation around it, a lot of theories, a lot of speculation. So you know what? It has captured something. People are talking about it, which I think is all very good news for DC Studios, the current DCU. We can shift the conversation away from the failure of Supergirl. Don't worry, there were plenty of people who tried to tie the success of Lanterns into the failure of Supergirl for some reason, because what else are you gonna do? But yeah, it's nice to have something that people are watching it. People seem to be liking it, and we're only 1 episode in. There's 7 more coming our way. By the time you guys hear this, episode 2 will have come out, but we're doing it a couple days early. So I'm really excited about episode 2. So there you go. There's your little tease on how I feel. But we'll start spoiler-free. Brendan, spoiler-free, what did you think of the first episode of Lanterns?
I dug it. I wouldn't say I quite loved it, but I enjoyed it. For me, it's the 2 leads. It comes down to them, and I bought into their characters. I like their characterization so far. Like it was a really good pilot in that it gave you. I think it gave us enough superhero-y type stuff, or at least alluded to it enough. But we know there's a lot more meat on that bone still to come throughout the whole, for the whole season. But my only negative, and not to sound like Jamie Drewley, is I genuinely think and swearing doesn't bother me, but I really think they overdid it on the F-bombs. I was just like, there's okay, maybe 1 or 2, I get it, but it's just like, there's really, I don't feel there's any need. It just felt a bit excessive. Mm-hmm. And that's coming from an Australian. So
yeah, I know how you talk.
If I'm saying it's excessive, it's excessive. So yeah, I think they could have cut back on that a bit. I mean, if they completely eliminated it, it didn't add anything to the show. I mean, you could have I wouldn't say more kid friendly, but maybe a slightly more family friendly type show on our hands, depending on what the violence looks like further down the road. But yeah, that's overall sort of, I enjoyed it. Didn't quite love it yet. And yeah, I just think they could have held back on the swearing a bit.
All right. All that's fair. I think we are mostly on the same page as usual. I think I loved it.
Okay.
I don't discount or even disagree with the people who thinks there should be more Green Lantern in it, because I do think that, but we've got 7 more episodes for that. And so I am hopeful and confident that we are going to get more as we go. It's going to build momentum, and I'm okay with that. I'm ready to roll with it. But for the first episode, man, it sucked me in. I had a great time with it. I watched it twice, and when it was over, I was really mad I couldn't just hit play on the next episode. And that's a great sign.
That, yes.
Yeah. That's a great sign of, like, I enjoyed it. And I think that It's an intriguing story that does suck you in. Like you said, there is enough Green Lantern in it that I am good with it. They're not sidestepping it. They're not downplaying it. They're full on embracing it. The problem is they're not showing all of it yet. And
Yes.
that's the part where I go, listen, if that's your issue, I get it. And I'm even with you to an extent because I'm the guy. I'm the guy who's like, put him in the suit, damn it. Like, I am that guy and I know it. And the fact that I love this even without him putting on the suit yet says just how strong it is otherwise. Because I thought the cast was exceptional. Aaron Pierre, terrific. Kyle Chandler, terrific. They have charisma. They're a ton of fun together. I love their interaction. I was really impressed with Kelly McDonald, who's playing the sheriff. I don't know her. I don't know where she came from. But she showed up and I was like, oh, she's great. Like, she's such a great foil for them. And then as we meet more characters as we go, I really enjoyed everybody. I didn't remember that Jason Ritter was in this. I love Jason Ritter. I think he's so good. He's just as charming as his father. And when he popped up again,
Ritter.
He plays Billy Macon, the lawyer.
Oh, yep.
He's been in a lot of stuff. He's never like had a huge breakout. He was in Freddy versus Jason, which is probably the time I remember him showing up at the beginning. He had this really cool show, and I can't remember what it was, but basically he was like, it was almost like a modern Highway to Heaven where he was like helping people and like he could see angels, or it was something like that. Anyway, but he was really good in it. Anyway, I've seen him in a lot of stuff over the years and he's always very charming. If we knew he was in this, which I assume we knew that, I just somehow missed it. So when he popped up, I was like, oh, Jason Ritter, I love him. Anyway, the characters, the cast, they got me there. As I said, there is enough Green Lanternness in this that I was like, I'm not too mad, but only barely. So I'm like, you got to ramp up. You got to give me a little bit more moving forward. But this was enough this was a good taste for that first episode. I was into it. The story was good. There is some really standout moments in it. It certainly sets up an intriguing mystery by the end. And so, yeah, like I really, really liked it. Maybe loved it. I think I loved it. But I completely agree with you about the swearing, which I know sounds so stupid. We're grown men. We're grown-ups. I get it. But it's just like, yeah, it just feels forced. It's like we're on HBO. We got a quota of F-bombs to hit. And you could have that adversarial relationship between John and Hal without the F-bombs, right? And so yes, like it is a minor nitpick, all things considered, but I completely agree. It just I don't think it adds enough that it's really worth it. It just, to me, it just feels like we got to remind you this is an adult show. That's right. This we're for grown-ups. And that aside, it doesn't need to be. But yeah, I thought it was great. I'm really excited about the new episode in a couple days.
Yeah, look, I genuinely wish they'd done a reacher and given us the first 3 episodes.
Okay.
And yeah, because they give us for the first 3. It's like the best drug deal ever, like it gets you so hooked, and then it's like, now you have to wait week to week for the rest of it. But it just gives you that, bit more of a launching pad to really suck you in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, I just wish they'd done that because the way episode 1 ends, you kind of want to see more. And I wasn't aware of sort of the different timelines that are going to be playing out in the show either. So
they had said that. They did say that you're essentially going to be on 2 timelines, but you don't really know what it means until you're watching and you go, oh, now I know why. And I'm certainly intrigued to learn more. So yeah, we did know that. And I mean, and not to jump ahead, but like, I'm looking at the IMDb, we're, if this is to be believed, next episode, we're going to see Sinestro, we're going to see Guy Gardner. So again, they're going to ramp up that, the greater Green Lantern universe, even on episode 2.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah. So I think it's great. I'm glad that it's a win for DC Studios. And even more importantly, I'm glad I really liked it because now I'm really excited about the next one. I want to get over the spoiler wall because I want to kind of continue that thought of what you had just said, but I'm afraid it might be spoilery. So let's get over the spoiler wall. I think Lanterns is great. You should definitely watch it. You're listening to this. You probably already watched it. I hope you're digging it too. And again, for the most part, everyone I've seen has at least liked it. And the complaints I have seen have been like, listen, it's good. It's still not giving me enough Green Lantern. And again, I get that. But that aside, I'm really excited to see where they go next.
Yep. Same.
Sweet. All right. Well, let's get over the spoiler wall. So spoilers are in full effect in 3, 2, 1. And the first thing is not a spoiler as to what is in it. It is a spoiler as to what is not in it. And it kind of goes with what you were saying of like, you're like, oh, they should have, given us more at the beginning. That was my thought is I was like, if you could have kicked this first pilot off with, I mean, it does kick off with a sequence in the past, but if you'd have kicked it off with some sort of Green Lantern sequence from the past of like showing us Hal in his prime being Green Lantern and like really instead of saying, hey, for 10 years now, Green Lantern has been Earth's superhero, instead of just saying it, showing it and having that like kind of big opening to really get you hooked. I think that would have made a lot of people be more patient about then the amount of Green Lantern to come later. But because they didn't do that, I understand the disappointment of like, well, I want that because they pay a lot of lip service to it. They talk about it, but you don't see it. And I think that would have gone a long way.
Yeah. Agreed. I do think it was funny at the start. It's like 1996 and your brain just goes, oh, that's, it's only a couple of years ago. And you're just like, shit, that's 30 years ago. Oh my God.
That's right. Twister is 30 years old. And that's the most important thing about 1996.
Yep. Well,
it's also
that and ID4.
Oh, that too. And I also graduated high school in 1996.
I graduated primary school in 1996.
Oh, yeah. I've been out of high school for 30 years. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like kicking it off in 96. And even in that, like, I mean, I did like I thought it was cool the way like we get to meet Hal through the TV and how John is watching him. I think all that was really cool. And I thought they did a really great job of de-aging Kyle Chandler. Thought that was really well done. And so it was good to set up the history. I just think there was more opportunity to show more of the history.
Yeah.
I mean, even the full Hal Jordan origin of getting the ring from Abin Sur, he tells the whole story and it is right out of the comics. It's the comic origin, but he just tells it. And that one I understand, like, it might be too expensive to show the whole thing. We saw it in 2011 with Ryan Reynolds, so maybe we didn't need to see it again. It would have been cool if they'd have just flashed back to scenes from the Ryan Reynolds movie to save them some money. Because it's really like exactly what happens, But again, that goes to the point of like they're not shying away from it. They're not trying to downplay the Green Lanternness of it. Everybody talks about them being space cops. They talk about him being a superhero. He is a public figure. People are taking photos with him because he's famous as Green Lantern.
He's like a huge celebrity.
And then, it's like, oh, how did you get the ring? I was like, oh, I was chosen. No, I was chosen by a freaking alien who crash landed in Nebraska. And then I was brought here by the ring and like, just put it right out there. And I appreciate that because it shows that like they do love the mythology and that they're not afraid to celebrate it.
True. Very true.
So where to go? Aaron Pierre is amazing. I mean,
great casting.
I loved Rebel Ridge. If you go back and listen to one of those best of episodes, that movie's so good. And when I saw it, I was like, well, no wonder they picked him for Jon Stewart. He's so good. He's so charismatic and he looks perfect too. He's quite a find. And I think that he is great in this. And again, I think that he and Kyle Chandler really bounce off of each other well. And it's funny in the trailer, like the very first trailer, we got that set up for the scene in the car. And it's like the first scene. And I did not realize that was going to be the case of the very first scene is them in the car together, kind of arguing where Hal's trying to antagonize him. He won't play the game. He's just, playing it very cool, but it all culminates in Hal leaving him and letting him try to figure it out as the car crashes.
Yeah, him leaping out of the car. I mean, I know it was in a trailer, but it's very funny.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I thought that was really good because what was so cool is like you immediately know who they are, what their dynamic is. What I think is really interesting, and I'm sure we'll get more of it, is like the setup with John of like as a little kid, his father teaching him not to be afraid by shooting a freaking apple off of his head. Which
what was with that?
Yeah,
talk about child endangerment. Jesus Christ!
I mean, that gives me anxiety, obviously, but like that. He knows he's watching Green Lantern on TV. He does that to teach him not to be afraid. And then after he saves himself from the car, John calls his dad and he's like, do you want this job? And it's like, so it's, we're going to learn more about he and his dad being like, we are going to make you the perfect candidate to be Green Lantern.
But yes, I mean, it's not, to me, that's about not being afraid. That's just like, what if the dad misses? Like, that's not about the kid's fear. Like,
of course.
That's just, that Jess and I were both like, what the when that scene happened. Jesus.
I know. And there's obviously a lot more to learn about John and his dad, because again, the way they set it up at the beginning is they were like, you got to turn off the TV. Dad's coming home. And it's like, so then there's the scene with the gun, which is horrifying. But then after he's like, all right, let's go get a burger. And it's like, oh, they seem to like, he still seems to love his son. So I don't know. I think there is more to learn there.
And I don't know how far they go into it too, but like, why John? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, was there two or three other brothers there?
Yeah.
At least two. Like, why John? You know, very interesting dynamic.
Yeah. So anyway, but it does what a pilot should do, which is it plants those seeds of like, what's the deal with that? And then you've got a whole season to get into it. And I think that it raises enough interesting questions that you do want to learn more. One of those questions was immediately came out and like James Gunn and I think Damon Lindelof. Anyway, maybe one of the other showrunners, I can't remember who, but they were like, is they make it very clear Earth only has one Green Lantern. You know, even though Hal is training John, there's one ring. John doesn't get it unless Hal's dead. So Hal's like, settle down, Junior. The way he calls him Junior is so condescending. It's so mean. And then, obviously we know that Guy Gardner has the ring in Superman. And so like, how does that all play out? And again, James Gunn and whoever else was like, yeah, we know, don't worry. Maybe just watch the show and you'll find out. So I had seen those questions arise after the first episode. And again, I'm like, yeah, it's the pilot. They're supposed to give you interesting questions that you want to learn more about. And that's a very obvious one that it does not seem like it doesn't seem like a plot hole. And that's what I've seen it described as, it's a plot hole. I'm like, no, I think that it's actually a story point that they're very aware of.
See, forgive my ignorance, but like, I mean, I read some of the Jeff Johns run. I did a lot of research and reading and stuff when the Green Lantern movie was coming out and everything. How do they get a say in who gets the ring? Don't the Guardians? You know what I mean? Like, because when
that's that's the mystery, right? Is like, so we know how Hal got the ring. Is the ring chose him?
Yeah,
because Abin Sur was dying. He sent the ring to find a successor. He found Hal. That's how Hal got the ring.
Yeah.
In this one, they say something about John interviewed. So what happened that the Guardians found John and said, you might be a good Green Lantern too? We don't know. We got to find out. Same thing with Guy. We don't know how Guy got the ring. These are the things that we're going to learn as we go. But yes, at the end, the ring can choose you, but the Guardians can choose you too. And I think that that's exactly what you're seeing here is they even, when they're at the bar, he's like, the ring chose me. There was one question. Are you afraid? I didn't interview for it. And John was like, well, maybe you should have, because there's more to it than that. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting and it'll be cool to see how they answer those questions.
Speaking of the bar, what about the hottie grandmother?
Yeah, that was fun. I gotta say, what I laughed the most, and sorry to jump ahead, but at the end of the barbecue, when William Macon, who is Garrett Dillahunt, who is another really good character actor, he's been around quite a while, but he's
I know
always
him
really
the
good.
best from Raising Hope.
Oh yeah. I always think of Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles. He was the Terminator.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, he's really good. But when John realizes that he knows, and Hal goes, "What was that all about?" And he goes, "Well, I might have slept with his wife." And he goes, "You might have?" He goes, "I definitely slept with his wife." And he goes,
and Hal's impressed.
We've only been here we've only been here 24 hours. I'm impressed.
To be fair, he didn't know.
No, of course he didn't. But no, I laughed hard, and I did appreciate that. Okay, yes, it's HBO, it's made for adults. There's lots of swearing, but like I appreciated that there were also like funny moments and humorous moments sprinkled throughout. It wasn't all like dour and serious.
I
And
mean,
so,
look, you say the HBO thing, and like, and I'm not saying this in like a like wink wink nudge nudge type of way, but like, I'm surprised you didn't see boobs.
yeah,
Like when Jon Stewart was with her in the car, I'm surprised they kept it kind of tame, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. I know. Well, good for John. You know what? He had a lot of tension building up after a long few days dealing with Hal. I'm glad that he managed to, release some of that. But again, like I appreciated that, like everyone just knows that like Green Lanterns are space cops. They know that. I also thought like the sequence when they get to the town and Hal's sitting there on the bleachers and John shows up and John notices the guy who in the short sleeves, right? The guy in the short sleeves. And Hal's like, "That's how you would play this?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, then go ahead, go play it." And he goes down, and the sheriff, who was already onto it, I love that she was like, "Are you going to tell me about the redneck in the short sleeves? Because I'm trying not to spook him." And he goes, "I messed up, didn't I?" And she goes, "Yeah, I think you did." That was great. I just love that. Like he thought he was a step ahead, and no, Hal and the sheriff were already onto it. I thought that was great. And so, yeah, like the chase with that guy, and I'm sorry, we'll jump to it now. The interrogation I thought was brilliant. And like, that was where I was like, listen, man, this is great. Like, hey, like, yeah, I want some more ring slinging and hopefully it'll come, but this is great. And the whole thing of like, from the very beginning of Hal going, "I'm here because there's aliens." And the sheriff is like, "No, a bunch of idiots shot each other. There's no aliens." And Hal's like, "There are aliens. Just wait." And until that moment, like even you don't know if you believe it. I mean, you have to, because like it's a Lantern show.
You believe Hal. Yeah.
It'd be pretty boring if it wasn't. But the way that interrogation goes was awesome.
Oh, it was great.
And like credit to the actor playing the other guy. Like he turns on a dime and he's really good. I don't have his name right here. I apologize. But yeah, like him playing it like, "What? I just like football. I came in to watch the game." And then he goes, and then he just makes that turn and you realize that there's more going on there. And yeah, he's awesome. That whole scene.
love just like the random pop culture questions that Hal was asking as well that like weren't related to football. I can't even remember what they were now, but like
he said he asked all these
everybody. Oh, Harry Potter, the Hogwarts.
Harry Potter, yeah. What school does Harry Potter go to? But yeah, he asked all the football questions, and the guy's got all the answers. And he goes, "Oh, what school did Harry Potter go to?" He goes, "I don't know." He goes, "You don't know, really?" And he goes, "That's the thing about you guys. You study big on the details, and you don't bother with the stuff everyone should know." And then when he asked about Barack Obama. That was brilliant. When he's like, you live in rural Nebraska and that's your only opinion on Barack Obama?
I did get a chuckle out of that too.
Yeah. And now I've seen like memes coming after, which is so funny. Where I sent it to you guys where it was like, "What do you think of Zack Snyder?" And he goes, "Yeah, he directed Batman vs. Superman and Man of Steel." And he goes, "You're a DC fan and that's your only opinion on Zack Snyder?" But no, like that entire sequence I thought was amazing. And then like when the sheriff sees the turn and realizes that she messed up, it's terrific. And then like he's got whatever this internal bomb situation and how
bit Dark Knighty, actually. A really cool interrogation scene.
Yeah.
Someone with a bomb inside them.
Yeah. So no, I thought that was amazing, and I realized that like that's like the essentially the end of the episode, except for the little tag at the end, which really sets up an additional mystery. But yeah, like that, I thought what a great final sequence in the first episode that really just I thought was awesome. And again, Kyle Chandler, I'm so glad I'm so glad it's him. Because do you remember when they were saying they wanted it to be Josh Brolin?
Yeah, I remember there being, I couldn't remember who it was, but when I was watching it, I'm like, there was somebody else who was supposed to play this. I didn't know if it
They
was supposed to or they wanted, but I knew there was somebody else being thrown around.
allegedly they offered it to Josh Brolin first.
Mm-hmm.
Again, take it with a grain of salt. Who knows? But and I like Josh Brolin. I
I
do.
think he's great. Yeah.
I'm so glad it's not him. He's just not Hal. And Kyle Chandler, yes, he's an older, bitter, sarcastic Hal, but he's still you still see Hal Jordan in there. And I love that you get a glimpse of him essentially in his prime as Green Lantern at the beginning.
Mm.
Then you get a glimpse of him 10 years ago with the hologram, which I thought was funny.
Yes.
And I loved when I love Aaron Pierre. I loved when John Stewart goes, "Yeah, you were a lot nicer 10 years ago." And then you get like where he is now, where he's just is bitter and jaded, and he doesn't kind of give an F. And I appreciate like you see those different glimpses of who Hal is and who Hal was. And Kyle Chandler nails all of them. I just think, like, thank God Josh Brolin passed if that's the way it went down, because he is great in this.
I just remembered too when he's in the bar and he put the same song on repeat in the jukebox.
Yes,
like
I got a brand new pair of roller skates
to get the guys to fight him so he could get put in jail. And then when he gets carried away, just the shit-eating grin that he gives, gives John, I cracked up. I'm like, that's brilliant. It was so
I know.
funny.
Well, and right before that, where he goes, "Okay, it's going to look like these guys are getting the better of me, and you're going to be tempted to jump in, but I need you to not." And John Stewart's like, "That's fine, I won't."
I tell you what, talking about it, I just made me want to go and watch it again, actually.
No, honestly, I watched it again last night because I knew we were talking today. And yeah, I don't want to say I liked it even more, but I really, really liked it. Like I said, I loved the scene where Hal gets himself arrested. He ends up in front of the judge. Even that was really funny, where she's like, "Oh, you're a law enforcement. Which agency are you with?" He's like, "I'm Green Lantern," and she's like, "Yeah, but what agency?" He goes, "The Green Lanterns." And then Billy Macon, Jason Ritter, shows up as his defense attorney to get him off, and again, just like so nice. And John goes, "Who is that?" And the sheriff goes, "My husband."
Yes.
And then the same thing where like at the end where Hal goes, "Oh, of course they're married. It's a small town. Everybody knows each other." And Billy goes, "I'd be offended if it wasn't absolutely true." So yeah, I mean, lots of good stuff there. And then yeah, like once we realize his father is Garrett Dillahunt, and then the woman at the bar is actually his mother. I assume it's his mother, right? I mean, it's grandma.
Yeah.
That reveal. But I was like doing the math. I'm like, wait, like Garrett Dillahunt feels too young, but maybe not. Like, they could have had kids pretty young. I was just expecting someone older, and then it was him, and I was like, okay. But no, anyway, like all that stuff I thought was really great. Jump to the end, because why not? That final scene where I was like, he's driving in the snow, and Brendan, I've always dreamt of seeing Green Lantern drive a car in the snow.
The second you said my name, I'm like, oh, I know. You're about to take the piss.
No, never. I just saying that dreams come true. You just wait long enough. And I love that, like, again, like you jump forward 10 years and just seeing like how he and the sheriff like now have this like very sweet, affectionate relationship where he's asking about the kid and he's playing football now. And like, and then you show up and you get that reveal. And it's the biggest spoiler, but I think everybody's seen it by now, is the frozen corpse of Hal Jordan sitting on the bleachers.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like he's been shot in the head, and his ring is missing. And so I don't know. I assume you get this in Australia as well, but like, okay, so you watch the episode, and then after the episode, they did like a trailer for the whole season, which lots of intriguing stuff in there.
Possibly. I might have skipped it.
Okay, but then after the trailer, they also do like the little like 4-minute behind the scenes thing, and they talk about they're like, yeah, like killing Hal Jordan, we knew was a big swing. We knew that it was going to be controversial, but we also felt like it was, it was a story worth telling. And, Jamie's not happy about it. And I'm not thrilled about it. I love Hal Jordan. I would like him to be around for the long run. But again, the way the episode sucked me in and then leaving us on that cliffhanger of like, now it's present 2026, Hal Jordan is dead. What happened to Hal in the past 10 years? It is an intriguing mystery, and I do want to know more. So right now, it's a bold choice, but I'm willing to roll with them on it.
See, for me, I don't know. I mean, I could be alone here. I don't know. To me, Lanterns felt like it was the setup for Jon Stewart to become this DCU's Green Lantern. So I didn't expect Hal to be around after the show anyway. Whether he was alive or dead, I didn't expect him to be around. So it didn't bother me, to be honest. It just sort of like, okay, well, it clears the board for Jon. This makes sense.
I completely agree. And I think that's just it, is like part of the reason I think I'm so willing to roll with like him not in the suit, let's say, is because we've seen all the trailers. Like we know what to expect. There's not going to be a lot of Green Lantern in the suit. And so like they've managed expectations. So I already knew that going in. And very much the same here, where we know the premise. It is Hal training Jon. In the trailer, literally, Hal says to, or Sinestro asks Hal, like, you're not training you're not training a backup. What are you training? And Hal says, my replacement. Like, that this is all about passing the torch or passing the ring. So we all kind of assumed Hal wasn't going to make it out anyway. And go ahead and just put that out there at the very beginning, and then makes us lean in and go, well, then what happened? I don't know. I was okay with it.
Yeah, I didn't have an issue.
Well, so I mentioned, like, of course I would like more Green Lantern in the suit. I'm still a nerd. But I appreciate that they address it. When he's there at the taco stand and everybody's taking pictures and everything. Again, I thought that was cute. And the little girl goes, my mom misses the suit. And so like, just, calling it out. And then the guy goes, well, why only for special occasions? And the explanation he gives, he's like, it's like when you're young and eager, you wear a tie because you think people will take you seriously. And then you get older and you realize wearing a tie is a pain in the ass. He's like, that's kind of how it works with the suit. How did you feel about that?
I mean, again, we kind of know what we're getting with the show, so it didn't bother me too much. And the fact that in this world it is a physical suit and not a construct of the ring, I guess, you don't want to carry that thing around everywhere and have to get changed into it anytime you need to fly off somewhere. So again, for this world and this show, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, same. I was like, okay, I appreciate you guys addressing it. I can buy the rationale. It didn't make me mad, but again, I was prepared, right? I was prepared going into it. And so, we'll see how it goes, but I was okay with it in the moment. I do love the moment when he goes, oh, you gave me a message from yourself, and what is it? The hail has fallen in something, Nebraska, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And Hal goes, pay the check, and he just takes off. I thought that was awesome. Like,
yes.
that was like so Hal Jordan. He's out of there. I thought that was really cool. And the effects, again, it's not super effects heavy, but like all the effects that are in it are really good. And that, especially that like flying moment where I was like, damn, like it was in the trailers, but it was really good.
No, agreed.
Yeah. Well, they certainly are setting up, Manhunters, right?
Mm-hmm,
that was in the trailer. It was coming this season on Lanterns. It was in there. So, there's going to be at least a lot of conversation about Manhunters. There's obviously going to be Guy Gardner, and it feels like anyone is a suspect for who might be a Manhunter or might be the villain. And I'm calling my shot. I called it to you guys privately, but I'm calling it publicly. It's going to be Jason Ritter. It's going to be Billy Macon.
You reckon?
I reckon, because he's so nice. Like, he is so unassuming and nice that I'm like, it's got to be him. Like, if it was his dad, Garrett Dillahunt, who's already intimidating and scary, it's like, oh, yeah, of course. No, they're going to go with like the least assuming, nicest guy, and it's going to be Billy. I'm calling it now. And then in 8 episodes, if I'm wrong, I will admit that I was wrong, but that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
We'll call it the Zootopia effect.
True.
Because in 2 Zootopia movies, they took the nicest character and they end up being the villains. So anyway, we shall see. We'll see how it plays out, but that is just my guess for now. But there is a lot more coming our way. We're going to get Sinestro. We're going to get Laura Linney as a Guardian. Again, that's not a spoiler. It was in the trailer. It was in the coming the season in Lanterns. We got Laura Linney, as a Guardian. So it'll be interesting, like, if they tease like the real look of the Guardians, because they even, again, in dialogue, they say, what do they say? Like our blue alien bosses or something like that, where they acknowledge the Guardians of the universe.
Yeah.
The one thing I forgot to mention, sorry, is the way they introduced the Oath, where the guy being interrogated essentially uses it to taunt Hal.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was really good too, where, like, for him, the Oath is kind of a joke, and for Hal, it's like, that's no joking matter, and it pisses him off, and that like leads to the escalation of the scene. That was really cool too.
Yeah, no, I agree. I really liked that.
Yeah. I also liked that he goes, oh, you think you will? You've been here how many days, and I don't see a lantern. And he's like, yeah, I got enough power. He goes, are you sure? How long? Like, I love that. Again, like that everybody knows this, or at least this guy, these aliens know it. That was all really cool. Again, they're layering in these cool things where it just makes you want to know more. Like, who is he here with? He says, he's not here on a mission of peace. He's here for war. What does that amount to? And it's like, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
No, I agree.
So, all right, well, that's the pilot of Lanterns, currently available on HBO Max. So why don't you give any final thoughts there, Brendan?
Oh, like I said, talking about it's made me want to go back and rewatch it before the new episode drops. I mean, yeah, it's a solid, really intriguing show. Like I said, I didn't quite love it. For me, this isn't, I know it's kind of apples and oranges, but the fact that Reach is, airing concurrently with this one, and I love that show so much, it's kind of like just, in the forefront of my mind a little bit more than Lanterns. But yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, really dug it. I thought the Lantern stuff, like I said, the little bit that we saw, there was enough of a tease there, to whet your appetite. And yeah, I'm really excited to see where it goes, particularly after that cliffhanger. And I'm in for the ride.
Awesome. Yeah. For me, the best compliment I can give a show is that when it's over, I can't wait for the next episode, and this is there for me. So yeah, I think right now it's hooked me in. I think it's off to a really great start. I can't wait to see more, and I'm really looking forward to Sunday night when I get to see what happens next. It also makes sense that Damon Lindelof is involved, because he was Lost, wasn't he? He did Lost.
I think so,
if I remember correctly. So, he definitely did Lost.
I hope this doesn't go the way of Lost, though, because the first 2 seasons I was like, this is the greatest show ever. And then I tapped out partway through season 3. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. I was in for the ride. But yeah, by the end, I was like, I don't even think you guys know what's happening anymore. But he also did the amazing Watchmen miniseries, which is a freaking masterpiece.
That I have seen, and it was very good.
Oh my God, it's so good. So anyway, but my point was, I'm like, well, he does love setting up mysteries, because he also has experience with that in Lost. So yeah, I think it was a great first episode, and I can't wait for episode 2. Right now, I'm really into Lanterns. And I'm glad that other people seem to be as well.
Yes, after all the, apparent controversy from the trailers, it's a hit so far.
Yeah, so that's great. We'll see how it goes over the next, few episodes and see how that audience, does it go down? Does it go up? Does it stay about the same? Who knows? But it's off to a really strong start. Well, another DCU project, Lanterns. Hope you guys are digging it too, but would love to hear what you guys think. Share your thoughts. Send it off to the Wayne Manor mailbox. In fact, I think we already have some messages in the Wayne Manor mailbox about Lanterns.
Crack it open.
So here we go. Let's check in with you, fine feathered finks, and crack open the Wayne Manor mailbox. It's time again for the Wayne Manor mailbox.
You've got mail.
Derek. What is a letter for me?
Maybe temporary.
She wrote a letter.
You're one hell of a messenger. This is all, Master Wayne.
All right, first message here is from Justin. It says, hello, I paused your Suicide Squad look back while you were talking about Eastwood being rumored as Dick Grayson. Right before you said that, it all came back to me. It might be difficult, but what would your thoughts be on an episode that looked back on the what ifs or rumors of the DCEU? Just a thought. Keep up the great work. Wow. I mean, first I would have to remember them. So the Eastwood one, I got Scott Eastwood. The Scott Eastwood one came back to me while I was watching Suicide Squad, so I'd have to think back. The other one we always joke about is Scoot McNairy as the Flash. Jenna Malone as Batgirl.
Yep.
Although I will still say she should have been, because she would have been perfect, and it was a huge missed opportunity. Jenna Malone would have been an amazing Batgirl. So yeah, I mean, it would be fun. I'd have to think about and see if there are enough to fill an episode, but it is fun to think back at my gosh, just the rampant speculation and what we wanted to be true and what could have been true.
See,
and then
my current pick for Batgirl I saw a couple of days ago. I don't know how true it is or not, is being rumored for the Marvel universe now.
Oh, really? Who's that?
Yeah, McKenna Grace.
Oh, of course. I should have known.
She'd be a great Batgirl. She's the right age,
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
actress. But apparently
Yeah.
she's being rumored for Black Cat.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know
I
don't know how true that is, but I was like, oh no, come on.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. All right. Well, it's a good idea, Justin. Answer is I don't know, but if you want to do the homework for me and send me a list of 10 speculative rumors from back in the day, that'd be great.
Wasn't there meant to be a Green Lantern project with, was it Ice-T?
Ice-T?
Ice Cube, or one of the, well, maybe that might have been a fan casting. But I remember there was a Lanterns project, and it was one of the Ices. I'm sure it was Ice-T.
Oh my God, that does not even ring a bell.
Anyway, that's just something I randomly remember back in the day.
Wow. Are you sure not thinking of Common?
Oh, I can remember that, because
wasn't he cast in
the
Mortal? Justice League Mortal?
Yeah, no. This was one of the really early DCU. I think it was when the Green Lantern thing was going to be a TV show or something. And again, it could have been fan casting. Sorry, Joe. I'm thinking of, but yeah, I remember something like that.
All right. Well, I don't remember that one, but there you have it. Okay, moving on. Next one is Stewart from Guernsey. It says, hey guys, right? I'm going to play a little game of Would You Rather. First, would you rather an animated series in the vein of Batman the Animated Series set in today's world, or a series of new in-continuity animated movies? Second, would you rather Tim Burton return to the world of Batman to make a final movie with Keaton, or would you rather Zack Snyder return with Affleck and make a prequel to BVS when we see him in his prime with Robin? Third, would you rather Dick Grayson flashbacks as Robin in the new DC universe, or would you rather flashbacks with Tim Drake as Robin? And fourth and final, if you were only allowed to watch one of these movies for the rest of your life and you had to pick one, which one would it be? Would you rather watch Supergirl 2026 or The Suicide Squad? In all honesty, that question is aimed at Jamie, as I know he really hates them both. Haha, I would love for him to let you know his answer. Anyway, I hope you enjoy answering these questions and that life is treating you well, Stewart. Thanks, Stewart. All right, so here we go. First, Would you rather an animated series in the vein of Batman the Animated Series, but in today's world, or a series of in-continuity animated movies?
With the in-continuity animated movies, is that like their own continuity or carrying on the continuity of Batman the Animated Series?
Unclear. I don't know what continuity it is supposed to be in. I thought it also could mean in continuity with like the live action DCU movies.
I mean, look, I'm going to choose the animated series. Yeah, just because.
I think so too. Yeah. I would love a new animated series.
Don't get me wrong, I love Cape Crusader, but I know you'd prefer something a little more traditional.
Yeah, I would also go with the series. It's more content, and that would be really cool. So yeah, number 2, would you rather Tim Burton return to make another movie with
easiest.
Keaton, or Snyder with Affleck for a prequel to BVS?
Snyder with Affleck.
I actually agree.
Because we've had 2 solo Keaton movies. We know what that looks like in his prime, and we also had the taste of him more recently in The Flash. So I feel like that kind of we've eaten well when it comes to Keaton, and there was supposed to be more in Batgirl, but don't get me started. Whereas the Affleck solo Batman movie is the biggest what if / missed opportunity of the last 30 years of DC.
Yep. I agree, actually. As much as I love Burton and Keaton, I mean, Keaton's like 72, and I'd watch a Batman Beyond with them, but I feel like that ship has sailed. We got The Flash. That's more than I could have hoped for. I would love to gotten a true Batman movie starring Affleck. I
mean, look, it's been what, 3 years since The Flash? And I mean, despite, critics and blah, 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 and the reputation it has, I still can't believe we got Keaton back in the cowl.
I know, same.
It's incredible. Like, what a world.
Yep. Number 3, in the new DCU, would you rather have flashbacks of Dick Grayson as Robin or Tim Drake?
I don't know. Because, I mean, if Damien's Robin, I mean, you would assume we're going to get Dick Grayson as Nightwing, or you would hope, in some, way, shape, or form. So I guess Tim, because that would give him a little bit of a spotlight, whereas, as you're well aware, like he kind of is the forgotten Robin, which is really not fair because he's awesome. So I'm going to say Tim, just because I think we may get, Dick Grayson anyway.
Yeah. I think so, especially because we're jumping to Damien. I feel like you do flashbacks with Tim Drake as Robin and Dick Grayson as Nightwing. So you can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. 2 birds. I think I would say the same. And then you can only watch one movie for the rest of your life: Supergirl 2026 or The Suicide Squad. So what he's really asking is, which movie do you like better?
Look, based on right now, I'd probably have to say The Suicide Squad. I've only seen Supergirl once, though. I need to see it again. I need to sit with it for a bit longer and get over the whole, once again, the reputation of a movie that I know you shouldn't watch a movie with that in mind, but sometimes it's really freaking hard when the noise is so loud around it.
For me, flip a coin, because I think I like them about the same, honestly, for different reasons, but I actually lean towards Supergirl. I don't know why. I think maybe just because maybe it's recency bias, maybe it's just because it's a more important character of Supergirl than it is the characters they chose for the Suicide Squad. But yeah, I think I lean towards Supergirl, but the more important question is, what would Jamie pick, because he hated them both.
He wouldn't pick the final season of The Boys, we know that.
If he tells me, I will tell you. My guess is I still feel like he would pick Supergirl over the Suicide Squad, but I could be wrong.
I'm probably with you there too. I think like the James Gunn of it all with the Suicide Squad probably put Supergirl a bit ahead.
Yeah. All right, next message from Gabe Nakamura. It says, "Hey, Holy BatCast crew, hope you're doing well. I didn't realize Suicide Squad was 10 years old until I saw the retrospective anniversary episode. I feel so very old. Like all of the first 3 movies in the DCU 1.0, I think Suicide Squad has some good ingredients. Margot Robbie, Will Smith, Viola Davis, that Deadshot versus Batman sequence. Unfortunately, I don't think the movie around it is well made. I particularly find the second half to be frustratingly incoherent. It spawned 2 other movies, and I would say Birds of Prey and The Suicide Squad are better than this movie, but I think that would be insulting to both. They don't deserve to be compared to Suicide Squad. They just have to be because they're part of the same franchise. They're not nearly in the same universe as far as quality. I can at least appreciate this first movie got Birds of Prey and The Suicide Squad made, but none of them would be made now. How would you rank the Margot Robbie DCU movies? I would have Birds of Prey at number 1, The Suicide Squad at number 2, and Suicide Squad at a distant number 9. Keep up the great work. Take care." Thanks, Gabe. I think I answered this in mine, maybe. Did we answer it last time, Brendan? I feel like we said something.
Actually, I think we did. When we checked our letterbox rankings. Yeah. I mean, he clearly doesn't like Suicide Squad.
And that's okay. You don't have to.
I don't know. But I put it because her Harley's so good in it.
Yeah.
If we're basing it on her Harley, I mean, it's and just her Harley, I think it's almost at the top.
Yeah, I think I put them Suicide Squad, The Suicide Squad, and then Birds of Prey.
Yeah. I need to see Birds of Prey again. I haven't seen it since it first hit home, which was 6 years ago. We worked out last time. So, yeah, I need to watch that again. It needs to be reassessed.
Yeah.
But again, I remember her being very good in it.
Yeah, she is.
I didn't love the Harley aesthetic in it, but she was great.
Everyone is good in it. It's just there's a lot to like in it. It's just like not the Birds of Prey movie I wanted. They don't even team up till the last 15 minutes. Like that's one of my big issues.
And is it really Birds of Prey? Like, isn't Birds of Prey like Catwoman, Harley, and Poison Ivy, and Batgirl?
No, that's Gotham City Sirens.
Oh, Sirens. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. All right. Next message is from Austin. It says, "Hey guys, I've got a bit of a long message, so I apologize, but I had quite a few thoughts I wanted to get out and get your opinion on. To touch on Cape Crusader again, I was curious, what level of training do you think Bruce has received on this show? As it seems to me, he gets beat up quite a bit. Do you think it's just training from Alfred, or do you think they decided to go the full 9 and have him travel overseas? Speaking of Alfred, I understood what they were trying to do in season 1, making Bruce seem like a true loner who only focused on his mission by calling Alfred Pennyworth. But at the end of season 1, he did refer to him as Alfred, which I hoped would be a turning point and something he continued out throughout the season 2. Sadly, we did not get that. Why do you think the reason is? Is this just simply this version of Batman, or is it slow character development? Secondly, I've got to talk about Green Lantern for a minute. Why do we continue to receive watered-down versions of our characters? I swear the show reminds me of Smallville all over again. The shows themselves are good and have great moments sprinkled throughout, but we never get the full experience. For God's sakes, in episode 1, Hal compares putting on the Green Lantern suit to wearing a tie at the office. How lame is that? We also have the craziest scenarios that keep happening. What do you mean Hal cannot interrogate a suspected alien and has to bow down to a small-town sheriff? Isn't he supposed to be a member of the Justice League? Don't get me started on the fact that for some reason, DC decided that the first bit of Green Lantern content that we've had since 2011 would make Hal Jordan old, never having interacted with any members of the Justice League in their prime, while also making Hal and John share a ring. Why do we continue to put ourselves in these boxes where we limit creative storytelling and ignore the lore that has come before? As a DC fan, if you want a full experience of these characters, you have to hope that they have an animated series or read the comics, and in 2026, I just don't feel like that's good enough. DC does not have enough good faith with its fan base to continue simply sprinkling good moments throughout bland shows. I know you guys have touched on this before, but with the lack of all ages programming for kids like Batman, the animated series was, and watered down versions in TV and movie characters, my fear is that DC will not be able to hold an audience for the next generation. I'd love to hear your thoughts. All the best, Austin. Thanks, Austin. So, take them one at a time. Cape Crusader.
Clear my schedule for the rest of the day.
Cape Crusader, how much training has Bruce had? What do you think?
I've never really thought about it, to be honest. I mean, it's pretty well established that it's like a year 2 Batman. Like, he's still very new to this. He's encountering the Rogues Gallery for the first time. So, yeah, I guess, he's not going to be 100% perfect, the first time out, I guess. So, yeah, I don't know. It hasn't really crossed my mind.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good enough fighter, but yes, it doesn't seem like he's one that has traveled the world and learned multiple different styles of fighting. He doesn't seem that skilled. He seems a little more basic in his fighting skills, but he gets along. As for the Pennyworth thing, I think it's just one of those things where they're like, this is what sets ours different from everything that is he doesn't call him Alfred. He calls him Pennyworth. Aren't we different?
For me, I think I might have said it last episode. It's probably one of my biggest criticisms of the whole of season 2 is that they reverted back to Pennyworth, because that felt like a real development at the end of season 1.
That's just it. In season 1, it felt like an intentional character choice to allow him to develop. But then now that they just kind of went back to it, I'm like, or they just think that that's cool because it's different. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird choice given how season 1 ended, because that was a really lovely moment in season 1. So, yeah.
Yeah. As for Lanterns, well, we just talked about it. I understand a lot of your points. I had no issue with Hal respecting the authority of the sheriff and everything. And he's not a member of the Justice League yet, because there is no Justice League yet. So that doesn't quite work. But I understand like wanting Hal to be in his prime with the rest of the Justice League, but also I don't know. I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me as much as it bothers you, Austin, but I do understand where you're coming from.
I mean, you mentioned the 2011 movie. I think that is still a big part of the reason why we're not getting full on Green Lantern yet.
Yeah, I know. I do wonder. Nobody has said it, but I gotta feel like that was part of the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yep, because that movie's still a butt of a lot of jokes.
Yep.
It's a pretty good Green Lantern movie.
Yeah. All right. Next one, it's our pal Josh Green. It says, explicit warning. Uh-oh. It says, in a world where we have a 2-part Dark Knight Returns movie, a 2-part Long Halloween movie, and we're getting a 3-part Batman Nightfall trilogy, why the did we only get a single Batman Hush film, which is at the very least a bastardization of the source material? Make it make sense, Josh. I don't know.
I was going to say, because it was in the old continuity where they pretty much only did one movie, but then again, they did 2 parts for Superman.
Dark Knight Returns was before that.
Yeah, and no. I just mean in that continuity of those animated movies, sort of the New 52 continuity. But then but then they did a 2-parter for the death and return of Superman. So F me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, your point is valid, Josh. I agree. And I do wonder if it was just one of those of like, they were like, oh no, we can do it. We can condense it. And you know what? Like, for the issues I have with that film, I do think they do a pretty good job of making it, fit into one movie. My issue isn't that. My issue is the third act. So yeah, but I do think, yes, could they have done even more if they were allowed to do 2 parts? Absolutely. And I kind of wish they had now that you mention it, but it hadn't even crossed my mind until you said it, but it's valid.
Yeah, can't argue.
And Nightfall is this week, Brendan.
Oh, is it? That's good. I finished reading the novel a couple of days ago. So
it's Tuesday.
Cool.
All right, next message is from Tom Fallows. And Tom Fallows has a couple here, so I'm going to... we're going to call this Tom Fallows Corner and get through these. It says, hey guys, I'm really enjoying the podcast. I have to agree with your thoughts on the current state of Batman. It does seem like creators are wanting to make their own takes on the Batman characters. But also, with Reeves's takes on the villains and the changes done to Caped Crusader, like the Riddler, it feels like people are back in the 2000s and afraid to do the characters the way they're meant to be, and it has to be a take or a reimagining. The thing is, no one went down that route because Batman's reputation was at a low cinematically after Batman and Robin. So no one had to go realistic and gritty to regain credibility for Batman. But now that Batman does have the credibility, shouldn't we feel more secure to actually do these characters as they should be? Why are we still shying away? It's like creators or executives are afraid to make anything with tights or loud colors because, God forbid, it might be seen as campy. I almost wish someone would make a live action campy Batman movie that's successful so people will get over themselves. The only thing that makes me hopeful is that with The Brave and the Bold, if it's ever made, is that they'll follow Grant Morrison, who, say what you will about how drug-induced his work can seem, at least the man likes a bit of brightness and color in his comics. Do you feel this way? Do you feel we're stuck in the early 2000s when we're afraid to wear yellow spandex? And do you think The Brave and the Bold will change this given Morrison and Gunn's style? Sorry for the lengthy email, guys, but my therapist doesn't want to hear about this anymore, and neither does my missus. I promise to have a more lighthearted email soon. Tom Fallows. Thanks, Tom. I don't know, Brendan, you want to go first? We kind of covered this over the past couple episodes.
Yeah, I mean, they shouldn't feel like the early 2000s, given that Marvel go balls to the wall, you know, with costumes and villains and stuff like that, and that seems to work. I don't know. I kind of feel like had the DCEU gone differently, we would have got some more traditional Batman villains in Affleck's movies. I mean, he was part of a Justice League that went up against, you know, aliens and parademons and stuff like that. So, but again, the public didn't react well to it. So it's probably made them gun shy again. Like how we were just talking about with Green Lantern. Like, do they feel because of the success of Nolan that that's the only way they can go? And if it is, they've learnt the wrong lessons. So, yeah, I know we have touched on it previously. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the bottom line is of course they could, and there are a ton of superhero movies that show they could. But I do think because of the long shadow that Nolan casts, they feel like, well, you know what, that's the way to go because that's what's worked. And I've said it before. It doesn't have to be dark and gritty and mature or campy and silly, as if there's nothing in between, because there is a whole bunch of in between that could and should be explored.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then Tom followed up with a more lighthearted email. He says, "Hey guys, I promised a happy one, so here goes. I really enjoyed Lanterns. I'm loving Hal and John's chemistry, and I love how we're just thrown into this world and their relationship. Do we see the Guardians? Do we see loads of Green Lantern constructs? No, but it felt like a good starting point, and the mystery has me intrigued and gives me hope that things will get bigger. Who do you think the big bad is? Parallax, Sinestro, the Manhunters, and what do you think happened to Hal 10 years before 2016 to make him seem a little jaded? Also, been watching Cape Crusader and liking it for the most part, but it does feel like I'm waiting for these characters to become the characters they're meant to be. Also, can we give Jon Stewart a round of applause, not just for getting with Yellowstone's wife with just a hello, but also being able to use the ring to light her cigarette right afterwards. I'll need a half an hour before I'm constructing anything. Oh. Anyway, I'm excited for the DC content we are getting. Lanterns, we just discussed all that, and agreed with all that, but who do you think the big bad is? Parallax, Sinestro, the Manhunters? Because I have seen some speculation that, like, even though they talk about Manhunters and they're teasing them, that it could be a misdirect and there might be something else going on. What do you think, Brendan?
I genuinely don't know. Like, I don't, in a good way. Like, I kind of like the mystery, to be honest.
I mean, same. I don't know. Right now, I am kind of taking them at their word and waiting to see how the Manhunters factor into this. And if that does become a misdirect and it's not actually Manhunters, cool. I'm along for the ride. I like the idea of not knowing. Same thing with what happened to Hal that made him so bitter and jaded. Like, that is I said it many times. That's another mystery that they introduce in the pilot that now we get to find out what happened. And I'm sure we will. So I don't know. And I'm not big on, like, unless it's something that's like staring me in the face or I go, oh, of course, this is what it's going to be. Yeah, it could be one of many things, but I enjoy going for the ride and discovering it as they tell us.
Yep.
And yeah, good point about Jon Stewart for lighting her cigarette.
I forgot about that bit.
Yeah. See? That's Green Lantern-y. Right? Ish. All right, next message from Brian B. It says, "Hey guys, hope things are going well this summer. Sorry for my email so close to my last one, but I wanted to chime in on something. Andy, you mentioned last episode that instead of having a normal iteration of Batman, we keep seeing wild takes. I sent an email about this ironically last year about Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which is similar in the changes. Personally, I do think writers are getting too cute and should stick to the meat and potatoes of the characters. My question is, if you were made a showrunner of a Batman show, what would you create? Personally, I'd go similar to the new Batman Adventures with Nightwing or Tim Drake in every episode, but have Oracle instead of Batgirl and have Red Hood as the overarching villain of season 1, with subsequent seasons following storylines like No Man's Land and Nightfall in each individual season. Lastly, I sprained my ankle because I thought I was 22 again and not 42 last week and watched a few movies during recovery. Specifically, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, which was great. What's a classic movie you never saw until later in life and loved it? As always, thanks for the hard work, and let's get spooky season here now." Thanks, Brian. It is spooky season. I had a pumpkin coffee this morning on my way to work, and I went and saw Insidious, so I'm counting that as the beginning of Scarathon. Spooky season is here, damn it. Let's get spooky. So, question is, if you were the showrunner of a Batman animated series, what would you make, Brendan?
I've got this idea of using the Riddler, but kind of like the Zodiac Killer.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. Can he be really pathetic and stupid?
Yeah. Look, that's a really good question, and one that would have loved some more notice for. I don't know. So I guess we're going like not standalone episodes, so more an overarching season.
Well, that's what he's doing. That doesn't mean that's what you have to do.
I mean, it's so easy to just say like, well, essentially Batman the Animated Series, but and that's the thing. Like, and that's what I said with Cape Crusader. It's like, it's Batman the Animated Series has made it. It's frustrating because for me, it's like they're taking all these wild swings with movies and, doing takes on things. And it's just like, that should be your source material. Do that, but on the big screen. You know what I mean? But then when I look at Cape Crusader, I'm like, particularly, like I said, particularly with Bruce Timm, although how heavily he's involved, we don't know now. It's kind of like, well, yeah, I kind of get why you have to do it a bit differently because you already did the perfect version of the animated Batman. Like, I get it, but I don't know, like, I'd sort of want something in the style of like Under the Red Hood in terms of like the aesthetic. Like that'd be the sort of look that I'd want to have. And just sort of expand upon, not saying literally, but like, expand upon like what that movie gave us in terms of showing you more traditional, like, like a Riddler in that world and a Catwoman and Poison Ivy, like that kind of aesthetic. Even the voice cast, I'd probably keep because I loved Bruce Greenwood as Batman. Yeah, I don't know. That could be an episode on its own, like pitching a new animated Batman show. What would you do? So with like 2 minutes notice, that's the best I can come up with. But yeah,
I mean, I feel like I've answered a version of this in the past, and so I'm going to answer it the same way because I do think it's a show that would have me setting an alarm to watch every week. It's honestly, it's a bit of what Brian is saying. It's a bit of what you were saying, Brendan, is that I want a true Bat Family animated series. So you have Batman, Nightwing, Batgirl, Red Hood, Tim Drake, Robin. You got the core Bat Family, right? And it is animated in the style of Young Justice.
Mm-hmm.
That art style, that animation, which is not all that dissimilar from Red Hood, which is what you just said. I feel like, and then you could tell Batman stories, or you can tell a Robin story, or you can tell a Nightwing story or Batgirl, and then you can team them up in different ways and have them taking on the Rogues Gallery in a very classic, traditional, quintessential version throughout Gotham. And even maybe Bloodhaven or wherever, but like you've got then the entire Bat universe that you can play with and tell all kinds of different stories using that palette. And I think that that would be awesome. So yeah, like do that and you've got my money. The other question, which is really interesting, is there a classic movie that you didn't see until later in life and then you fell in love with it? So I've still never seen Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Sorry, Brian. So I guess I still need to get around to it. But what about you, Brendan?
I mean, the entire Alfred Hitchcock back catalogue for a
Sure,
start.
yeah.
But look, if you want to go more recent, and I mean, it's over 30 years old, so I guess you count as a classic. I only watched My Cousin Vinny for the first time literally a week ago. Last Saturday I watched it. I was messaging you guys in the group chat about it. That movie's friggin' awesome. I slept on it for like 3 decades. It's one that I'd always like, oh, that'd be interesting. Like, that looks funny. Yeah, I was blown away by it. I watched it again this week because Jess had never seen it. So I watched it twice in 3 days. I genuinely love that movie, and I think it's going to become heavy rotation because it was friggin' hilarious.
Nice. So I don't know. You have to define later in life, but the one that comes to mind is I did not sit down and watch Jaws until I was in my 20s. Like, I certainly saw bits and pieces on TV when I was a kid over the years. I knew who Jaws was. I knew moments, right? But I did not sit down and watch it until I got the 25th anniversary DVD set. So that would have been the year 2000. So I'd have been 22. And that was the first time I watched the entire movie. And I was like, holy shit, I freaking love this. And now I live and breathe Jaws almost as much as I live and breathe Batman. Jaws is like in my top 5 movies of all time. And I know, like, it ain't a hot take. Jaws is a freaking masterpiece. It's not a hot take for anyone except Brendan Lowe. Everyone else agrees that Jaws is a freaking masterpiece, rightfully so, because it is. But yeah, I didn't see it till I was already an adult. And that was the one where I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Another example was The Godfather. Obviously, The Godfather. Also,
Still haven't seen that.
Hailed as a masterpiece, but it was just something like, yeah, I don't think it's my thing. So I didn't watch it for years and years and years. And at some point, when I was adult, I was like, I should probably watch The Godfather. I should see that movie. And I watched it and I was like, oh yeah, that was absolutely amazing. And again, I'm not like a big gangster guy. That's not really my vibe, but a great movie is a great movie, and The Godfather delivered. So that's the other one that comes to mind. There's, I mean, like you said, like, I really got into Hitchcock in my 20s. That's when I really fell in love with those movies. So those are the ones that jump to mind. I'm sure there are others where it's like, oh yeah, I can't believe I've never seen this. And then you watch it and you're like, oh shit, yeah, Citizen Kane. I didn't watch Citizen Kane until I was in my 30s. And I watched it and I was like, oh yeah, there's a reason that people say it's the best movie ever made. It's a great movie.
Actually, another one for me, if we're going to be like specific too, is It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see that till much later in life.
You and Batman.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it's one of those things, like, you're so aware of it through pop culture. It's one of those ones. It was like Grease growing up. I felt like I don't need to watch this because I've seen so much of it.
I already get it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then I sat down and watched it and I was like, oh, that's okay. And then I sat down and watched it a few years later. And like, it's, again, I adore that movie. I think it's fantastic. It's an annual watch for me. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. There are ones where it's like, oh, I get it. I've seen enough of it. And then you actually someday sit down and watch it from beginning to end, and that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life. I watched for the first time from beginning to end. I was a teenager, but I watched it with my grandma. And what I remember is, because I was like, oh, I already know what this is. What blew me away the first time I ever watched it was like the whole thing of seeing the world, what the world would be like without him, is only like the last 15 minutes of the movie. There's like a whole movie before that movie. And I was not prepared for that because I thought that was like the bulk of the movie, but that was not the case.
Just how charming Jimmy Stewart is. And I see a lot of my grandfather. the humor that Jimmy Stewart's character has in that, and it's just I adore that movie. It's so good.
Yeah. Michael Lyons' favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, I know.
Yep. All right. Well, good question. Very fun. Thank you. Moving on. Next email is from Eddie Bolton. It says, "Hey guys, as you guys have always kept us up to date with your life goings on, I thought I'd let you know that myself and my partner are expecting a baby in January. I'm completely out of my depth, but genuinely the casual updates that you guys have given over the years has really helped a clueless guy like me have the confidence to go in and do my best for the mother and future little person. So thank you. I'll also throw in a question. Batman's B tier villain list would be most superheroes A tier. So with that in mind, who would you put on your Mount Rushmore of Batman's B tier? So you can't include Joker, Catwoman, Two-Face, Riddler, or Penguin. Not sure if you'd include others in the A tier. Like Scarecrow's my favorite, but I don't know if he'd considered an A by the majority. Thanks again, Eddie." Well, Eddie, most importantly, congratulations.
Yep.
That's amazing.
And look, anyone who goes in as a first-time parent, Christ, even as a second-time parent, and we can both attest to this, of just like going, "Oh yeah, I've got this. This is, piece of cake. I know what I'm doing." No, you don't. You do not know what you're doing, and that's normal. And the best part is learning along the way. Well, the best part and the trickiest part, it's a double-edged sword, is learning along the way. So don't stress, dude. We've all been there, but you'll nail it. Eventually you'll get there, and you will continue to keep learning the whole way along. It's it's a bit of a journey.
Oh, it's a journey, all right. I mean, number one, let me tell you, all the cliches are true. I was actually talking to Jamie Magoo like a week or two ago.
Hey.
Remember Jamie Magoo?
I love Jamie Magoo.
Good old Magoo. He's great. He has a little boy named Bruce.
Oh, nice.
And he has another baby on the way. I can't remember if we know the gender, but anyway, there's another one coming. So yeah, he's about to enter second child. And what he said, and we were talking about, is like all the cliches are true, which is the days are long, the years are fast. Absolutely true. It's like, soak it in, because no matter what phase they're in, you're going to miss it. It goes so fast. Everybody says it goes so fast, but oh my God, it's so true. Harley's a freaking kid now, and I swear
Henry's 5.
I swear they were just babies, and here we are. All that's true. So even though it's annoying to hear the cliches, they're true. So just be prepared. I mean, and I still like Harley still be like, "Well, Daddy, carry me to bed," and I do it because I know that I won't be able to do that forever, and I'm like, I want to carry her as long as I can carry her. The other thing is, your life's about to change, but in the best ways possible. And the other cliche is like, it's the best job in the world. It is exhausting and it's a lot. And yeah, sometimes you're making it up as you go, but when those little people stare at you and they call you daddy, it is the best feeling in the world. And it means everything, nothing else matters other than those two little people for me and for you, it's just, and it's amazing. And I'm so happy for you that you get to experience that. It's going to be awesome and you're going to be fine. I will share with you a couple pieces of advice that I got from friends that I found very useful. Number one is, and again, this came up not that long ago, it was someone, I don't want to say who it was because I don't remember, but I think I remember who it was. Is they said the kids are going to be who they're going to be. So all you can do is just love them and support them. And that's true. It's like, don't, let them be themselves. Right. It's one of my favorite scenes in Masters of the Universe is when his dad says, "I wish I'd have let you be you." Gets me every time. And yeah, just let them be them and be there to support them.
Movie, did you?
It's actually a really good movie. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it. And then the other piece, and this was the best one, and it kind of takes some of the pressure off. And this is from my dear friend, Michelle, we've been friends for over 20 years, is that when Harley was being born, she's like, "Here's the only piece of advice you need. Do what works for you." Because every parent thinks they know what's best. Every parent does it differently. Parents can be judgy. Parents can be like, "No, you can't do this. You should do this." And she goes, "No, every kid's different. Every parent's different. Just figure out what works for you. And that is okay." And that was actually super freeing of like, you know what? You're going to get to know that kid. You're going to find out what works for them and what works for you, figure it out. And that's okay. You know, it's your kid. You're the parent. You guys make it work. As long as that kid is fed and clean and healthy, you know what? Like roll with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My advice would be a little less philosophical, and that is wipes. Get as many boxes of wipes as you can. When you think you have enough, buy double.
And also keep a pack of wipes in every room.
That's what I was about to say, because you will end up having a pack in every room, in every car. You know, in every
they're
bag.
amazing. They're amazing, not just for baby butts, but like when I spill like a little coffee on my shirt. Oh my God, baby wipes.
We were only talking yesterday of like, what did we do? Like, how did we survive before a kid without having wipes everywhere? And whenever friends or family fall pregnant and have a baby shower, whatever, like the gift that we buy is we will buy 2 to 3 huge boxes of wipes, and they kind of look at us and you're like, no. Seriously? And then it's always like, man, we went through those wipes so quick. It's like, yep, yeah, you did. So wipes, buy as many as you can. And like I said, when you think you've got enough, buy double, because you will go through them so quickly.
I'm at the point where like, I'll be like in our bedroom and I'll be like, where are the wipes? Where are the damn wipes? Why are there no wipes in here right now? That's very practical. Anyway, Eddie, you also asked a Batman question. I guess we should answer that. I love it. But again, congrats. It's super exciting. Batman's B tier villains. Who would be on your Mount Rushmore of B tier villains? But that begs a bigger question.
It does.
Which is
a question I wish we had more notice for.
Who is truly A tier versus B tier? So I agree with your list here, Eddie, is like A tier unequivocally without any sort of debate. Joker, Catwoman, Two-Face, Riddler, Penguin. 100%. A tier. But then there are ones that I'm like, I don't know if they're A or B, like Ra's al Ghul, Bane, Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy.
Are those A tier? Maybe not quite.
Another one that he mentioned, but yeah.
But I feel like B tier does them a bit of a disservice. So like, I'm going to say this.
That goes to his point, really, doesn't it? That the B tier would be the A tier for any other superhero.
I guess so. But I was going to say is like, I'm going to say this, very clearly, because this episode is all about making enemies of Jamie Drewley, is that Ra's al Ghul is B tier. He freaking B tier. Yeah, sit in the B tier, Raz. We don't want to hear from you. But I guess if we're saying anyone outside of those 5 is B, if we accept that conceit, which again is debatable.
Look, I think when the ones that we've named, I'm comfortable saying B, because I mean there are C tier, like Ventriloquist, Killer Croc. Yeah, like I really think putting them B really proves his point, that it feels as a disservice putting them as a B tier. But then again, that's the whole premise, is like Batman's B tier would be another superhero's A tier, and it's friggin' true. Like when you're putting someone like, Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, Ra's al Ghul, Scarecrow as a B tier.
So where would Clayface fall?
Poor.
Like I would put him at B tier, but now based on what you're saying, I think he would be C tier.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like Man-Bat, Killer Croc, C, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then let's accept that premise, is that the A tier is just those 5. Everyone else is B or C or even below. I think we're going to probably have the same answer, but who is your Mount Rushmore of B tier? And I think you just might have named them, but go ahead.
Mount Rushmore, how many faces is that? Or are we allowed to have as many?
4.
Scarecrow, Raz, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze.
Okay. I would agree, except I might swap out Raz with Bane.
Okay.
And maybe that's controversial, but
having just read Nightfall, it's amazing the impact that Bane has had. I will say that.
Yeah.
Because he is not a big player in that story much past the first third of it.
Yeah. I mean, and then the other piece is like Harley Quinn. Where does Harley Quinn
Jesus
fall?
Christ, Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
I mean,
let's just make it really easy and go. It's Mr. Freeze, Scarecrow, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I'd have to bump out. Who are we losing for that then?
Roz or Bane.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to. Yeah, we totally forgot Harley Quinn.
Because Harley might be A. It might be A minus.
Just about to say.
Yeah.
Because again, it's not so much powers and ability and what they can do. Because in that regard, then to Jamie's point, Raz would be much higher. But it's in terms of like where they are in the zeitgeist as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're using that, Harley nearly has to be A.
This is like, you could argue that Harley is an A tier. You could argue that Bane is A tier. But again, we're not. If we're accepting only 5 as A, then I am comfortable with Scarecrow, Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, Harley.
Like, I don't know if this says much, but like when they're not doing the special DC event, which they do once a year in the mid-year school holidays at Movie World, there are 3 Batman villains they have constantly at Movie World, and that is Joker, Catwoman, Harley.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Harley
Take from that what you will.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, there you go. I guess that's the answer, right? Are we good with that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. All right. And let's knock Roz to C tier. Let's just... Yeah, Jamie.
Because he doesn't podcast to defend himself.
I know. What are you going to do, Jamie? What are you going to do? You going to come podcast with me? You going to tell me I'm wrong? Come on. Come out of retirement.
You know who'd make a great Ra's al Ghul?
Common?
Yes.
Ice-T?
Sure.
All right. We got one last email. It's Tom Fallows again. Tom. Anyway, he says, hey, me again. Sorry. So over the past 35-ish years, we've had different Batman movies made by different creators. They've all had their different spin on things, some we loved and some that we've hated or have been meh to. My question is this. Out of Burton, Schumacher, Nolan, Snyder, or Reeves, what is the one thing that you liked from these universe that you would like to see in future Batman movies? What's the one thing you didn't like that you don't want to see in future Batman movies? And what is something we didn't get from any of these universes you would like to see in a future Batman movie? Obviously, talk amongst yourselves about the different universes, but you can only choose one thing from each. Keep up the great podcast, Tom. Tom, this is a whole episode.
This is an episode.
I mean, we can try and do it quick. Oh my gosh.
See, for Burton, I want to say the overall. Can I just say Gotham?
Sure.
Because I want to say aesthetic, but then
that's everything, right?
Yeah, like because I would prefer like a different costume, for example. So like Gotham and Batmobile, Burton.
Okay.
For me.
The thing you would want to keep, is there anything that you would net from Burton that you would never want to see again?
Max Shrek.
All right. Yeah. So for Burton, I was going to say Batmobile. What I don't want to see is Joker kill the Waynes. I know that's an easy answer, but it's the answer.
Fair. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Schumacher. What would you like? What don't you like?
I want to say okay. What I liked, introduction of Robin.
Okay, but would you like to see that in future Batman movies? Like something you want to see again, something you don't want to see again.
I mean, does that limit us to like it has to be Chris O'Donnell's Robin? Or
no, I don't know. I mean,
the introduction of Robin, because we've really only had him. It's
just
been
in general
30 years since we've had Robin in a Batman movie. So yeah, the introduction of Robin.
And then what you wouldn't like to see again?
The over the top with the fluoro and things like that, the neon.
Yeah. Oh man, this is it's tough, because like with Schumacher, I don't know. I mean, the introduction of Robin. Okay. And then what you wouldn't like to see again? The over the top with the fluoro and things like that, the neon. Yeah. Oh man, this is it's tough, because like with Schumacher, it's tough, because like with Schumacher, I don't know. I mean, the introduction of Robin. like I think I have to give like a more vague answer, but like embracing some of the comic bookiness, but just not that much.
Yeah,
Like,
I know exactly which, because that's where my mind went originally as well.
right, but it was like too much. Like I want 30% of that, not 100 of it.
Yeah.
Just so like, but like I appreciate that like it was, there was a certain reckless abandon to that. But yeah, I think the one thing you don't want to see is like going too far, right? And especially with like terrible jokes.
Yeah.
Nolan. I'll go first. One thing that I like that I want to continue to see, the Gordon Batman relationship in the Nolan films, amazing. I would love to see something like that again in the future.
Can I say the box office?
Yeah, that's good too. That works.
But no, like, yeah, it's hard to go past that. I was going to say in some, like, the seriousness with which they took the source material, but I think kind of like you with Schumacher, I kind of like would want some wiggle room there. If that makes sense. Yeah. But no, I think you're right. The Gordon Batman relationship for sure.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things. Like that was when I watched Batman Begins, I was like, oh my God, I've been waiting for this for so long. It's like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
And obviously there's a lot more that I like, but that's like if I want to pull something that I just think, oh yes, we need more of that. Less realistic. We'll see.
Yeah.
Although Nolan had a better balance than some.
We'll get to that. Keep that powder dry for a minute. Yeah. I mean, I guess less of the fear to go more full-on comic book.
Yeah. Snyder.
Costume. 100% the costume. That's what I want to be kept moving forward.
Well, then I'll piggyback and say the way Batman fights.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Like that.
That was something we had been waiting for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Less blood smears when Batman fights.
Yeah. Less
brutal.
It's taking itself so seriously.
Yeah. And then the Reeves verse. What something from that you want to see in the future?
Warner Brothers' dedication to a director.
Okay. All right. I will say Batman as a hero as shown at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I can see that.
And the one thing you don't want to see, absolutely any design from that movie.
Yeah, the aesthetic for sure.
And then is there something we still haven't gotten that we would love to see in a future Batman movie? Well, then I'll go back to what you said is Batman and Robin.
Yep.
Yes, we kind of got it in the Schumacher movies, but not really. I want to see a true Batman and Robin as partners, in a more earnest, less cheesy way.
Yeah, because the second they became partners, the next movie was about ripping them apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with you there. And I know we've said it before, but like, just give us the comic book versions of the villains.
Yeah.
Again, it's been how many years? And I mean, yeah, Nicholson to a point, but as we've said a million times, we've still never got traditional Batman versus traditional Joker on the big screen.
Right.
Why? Why haven't? I mean, I guess Batman 60s, but even then, because it was a team up movie. Why haven't we had that? Why is it so hard to do that? Like when I've been in my recovery the last couple of weeks, I've rewatched all the Spider-Man movies, all of them. And I know it's cliche for a reason and stuff. And I'm watching that 2002 movie and even No Way Home, and I'm just like, man, Willem Dafoe would have been a great Joker. And I know, like, everyone says that, but watching those movies, I'm just like, you know what? When people are right, they're right, and that is a big missed opportunity. Is he would have been a brilliant Joker, like comic book Joker.
Mm. Yeah, do you know what's funny is I saw a post or a tweet or something a couple weeks ago, and it was a shot from that State Farm commercial when they did the Batman Bateman State Farm commercial, which I still think is brilliant. But it was a shot of that Joker because remember we were all like, man, that's a great looking Joker.
Yes.
And it was like the first post was like something about like, oh, thinking about how cool the Joker looked in the State Farm commercial. But then there was a comment, and the comment was like, isn't it wild that we've gotten so many versions of the Joker in the past 30 years that a traditional one feels revolutionary?
Yes.
And yes, the fact that you could like do a comic book clown Prince of Crime right out of the pages and it would feel completely different because nobody's bothered doing it.
Yep.
All right, well, we're closing the Wayne Manor mailbox. Thank you to everybody who wrote in. As always, if you've got questions, thoughts, all of that good stuff, please send it to holybatcast@rf4rm.com. But that will do it for this episode. Brendan, thanks for joining. It was a pleasure.
No problem. It's like I said, mate, anytime. You know I'm down to talk Batman with my best pal.
I love it, and I'm excited about it. So, anywhere that folks can keep up with you.
On Facebook in the Real Fans groups and on Letterboxd. You can find me there.
All right, terrific. Well, I already told you guys where to find me, but thank you as always for joining us and for downloading the show. Please do subscribe or follow. And if you like the show, something else you can do to help us out, just write a nice review, a 5-star review. It does help us out, helps people find us, and it makes me feel good. Would love that. Again, find the show on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Holy BatCast. If you've got something for the Wayne Manor mailbox, that email address again is holybatcast@rf4rm.com. Our theme music was created by the talented Gaurav Venkateswar. You can find his work at gvtunes.com. And that will do it. On behalf of Brendan, I've been Andy. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Same hell time, same John channel. Holy BatCast is not affiliated with Warner Brothers or DC Entertainment. The views and opinions shared by the participants are theirs and theirs alone and do not represent the companies or organizations they happen to work for.
That works.
Yeah, you know what? I just decided in a split second, and I'm like, just going to go with it. I'm going to commit.
Or you could say, keep the nightlight shining.
Remember that? No, I don't. I don't even know what you're talking about.
That
was a whole lifetime ago.
Wasn't it?